Hello, I'm Richard, and today I will talk about computer history by Chips Primary, Grade 6. And first, I want to talk about introduction. And a computer is an electronic device that accepts data from the user, processes it, and then gives the desired output. It is a machine capable of performing calculations with the help of a mechanical computing device. The evolution of computers started way back in the late 1930s. Computers at that time used binary language for its operation. And here is an example of a 1930s computer. As you can see, it's very big. And first, I want to talk about the early calculating devices that predated the computer. A few calculating devices used prior to the development of the computers are discussed here. First, we have the abacus, which is a popular one, the pure bones, and then the Pascaline, one of the first mechanical calculators. And first, we will talk about the abacus, which is the most popular because you see them as toys. The abacus is the first calculating machine was developed in China in 2nd century BC. It is used to count numbers and perform simple calculations such as addition and subtraction. And here are two kinds of abacus, but they're pretty much the same on how they operate. And the second is the pure bones. This is an interesting one. The pure bones was developed by Sir John Napier in 1616. The device was used to perform calculations involving addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. It was named so as the numbers were carved on bones or strips of wood. Here is the pure bones, and here is the inventor Sir John Napier. And the final is Pascaline, one of the first calculators. Pascaline, one of the first mechanical calculators, was invented by Blaise Pascal in 1641. Though it could only perform subtraction and addition, yet it became very popular. And here is a picture of the Pascaline. As you can see, there are gears, and it's mechanical. And here is the inventor Blaise Pascal. And now I'm going to talk about electronic computers. Evolution of computers. From everyday tasks to moving satellites in space, computers all have revolutionized almost everything in our society. The development of computers has been classified into generations. Let us learn about them now. This is a desktop, this is a tablet, this is a smartphone, and that is a stapler. And first, I'm going to talk about vacuum-based computers, the first generation electronic computers. Early computers used vacuum tubes as switching components. First generation computers were built to solve physics equations. These vacuum tubes can be programmed using machine language. Machine language is a low-level language that uses long strings of zeros and ones for computing. Low level means it's very hard. However, the computers were bulky, cannot multitask, and the language was difficult and cumbersome because it's low level. But here is a picture of one of the first electronic computers ever built, the ENIAC. The ENIAC take up a room. It was very big, and it used vacuum tubes. And we move on to the transistor-based computers, the second generation. And this really revolutionized everything. Transistors made computers smaller and cheaper, so they are made easily accessible. They also made computers energy efficient, but the transistors were subjected to damage because of the emissions of large amount of heat. So that means the computer was hot. It was reheating too much. The computers of this era use punch cards for input. They use assembly language, which is a low-level programming language. And assembly language is based on the English alphabet. While assembly is still a low level, it still was difficult. At least it wasn't as hard as machine language because it was based on the English alphabet. The instructions are written in the form of codes. And here is one of the early transistor computers. It was still pretty big, but it didn't take up the size of an entire room. But as you can see, it made the computer smaller. And now, the third one, integrated circuit-based computers. Now, transistors were quite amazing feat, but integrated circuits made it much better. Integrated circuits made billions and billions of transistors into a single silicon chip. Small transistors were placed on silicon chips called semiconductors, which increases the speed and efficiency of the computers. The computers were based on high-level languages, which means it's more easy. They use the English alphabet and mathematical symbols. It is easier to understand. Examples are basic COBOL, C, and C++. And here is a example of the integrated circuit-based computer. Well, an integrated circuit, as you can see, it's very small. And now we move on to the microprocessor, which is it holds up more transistors. The microprocessor is a chip made of thousands. The microprocessor is a chip made of thousands of integrated circuits onto a single silicon chip. The microprocessor is compact and easy to maintain. However, it has limitations on the size of the data. And here is an example of a microprocessor, a Core i3 from Intel, which is the microprocessor I use. It is very good. And now we move on to artificial intelligence. Now, artificial intelligence is technically not a computer, it's a piece of software, but artificial intelligence is a computer that learns over time. This computer has no network that is the same of our brain. So it has the same system of our brain. And this will be used to create robots. And yes. And now we come to the conclusion. Computers and counting devices have evolved so much in the past many centuries, from numbers carved in bones to self-learning machines. It's been an incredible journey to learn the history of the computer that is used everywhere. And thank you for watching my presentation. I hope you like it, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.